So if you didn't know, I fucking love Rena Kent, and I have read all of Rena Kent's published books, and I love them. I listen to them all on Audible, because I own all but two of them on Audible, and the ones that I don't own on Audible, I have like gone other ways in the past. Anyway, but I want my book bestie to also love Rena Kent, and since I own all but two of the audiobooks, I loaned her my Audible account so that she could listen to them, and I gave her a little bit of prep about what's going on and like what to expect, but there were some things that I did tell her and some things that I didn't tell her, and I was very specific about what I did and didn't tell her. So first off, I did tell her the exact order to read it in. I told her which books are narrated duet, which ones are dual, and which ones are full cast, just so she has like that, whatever. But there's some things that I didn't tell her because I want her to go in a little bit blind. So I told her some books are darker than others, and she started with Quoking, obviously, because that's the beginning of the universe. And then after she finished Quoking, I was like, oh, also, just so you know, Daniel Sterling has a book. What I didn't tell her is that I fucking hate Daniel Sterling, and that Empire of Hate is a 3-star book for me. And I don't rate books that low often, but it's a 3-star book for me solely because Nicole is a 5-star woman and Daniel is a 1-star man, so it averages out. I did tell her about the cliff scene in God of Malice. To be fair, I've talked about that scene a lot, and I did tell her about it when I first read it and when I was rereading it, because I also think that's something you kind of need to be prepared for a little bit. But I did tell her that Killian and his brother have some daddy issues, but I did not tell her that I also just fucking hate Asher Carson, and that the Truth and Lies duet is whatever. I also did tell her that I think that the Thorns duet is the worst, most useless duet in the entire universe. But I did tell her that that book has some kind of cheating that can be construed as cheating, or it can be construed as not cheating, depending on your opinion. I personally thought that book had cheating in it, but not everybody thinks that that book is cheating. Because Rena Kent says she doesn't write cheating, but she wrote that book, and it's like explained away in like a really dumb way. When it comes to the Deception trilogy, I did tell her that the book has like the same narration order as like books like Alchemized, where it starts in the present and you're confused, and then it goes back to the beginning, explains how it got to that confusing part, and then fixes everything. But I did not tell her anything else about the Deception trilogy because I want her. Adrian and Leah are my second favorite couple in the entire universe. Their books were incredible, but I think that going into that just mostly blind is really good. So I didn't tell her anything about what happens, like the Winter/Leah thing. I didn't tell her any of that because I don't want her to know. I told her that my favorite book in the Royal Elite series is Vicious Prince, but I didn't tell her that I don't like Black Knight because I fucking hate Xander Knight. Notice that the ones that I don't like, the books that I didn't like as much, are always because of the MMC, except in the case of the Thorns duet. But I also did tell her, kind of like a year and a half ago, told her how much I hated Daniel Sterling, but I don't think I specified the book. I think I was just telling her how much I hated the character in the book. But yeah, I told her some things and I didn't tell her other things because I want her to enjoy it and I want her to go in and I want her to have the best time ever.